Survive the night.
Survive the night.
Oh God! What's that? Oh God! Survive the night.
So, what have you guys been watching this week? Anything?
What have we been watching? You know what I watched recently with Rob? I think we talked about it. I don't know if we talked about it on an episode of the podcast, but I watched Killing of a Sacred Deer.
It's a good movie.
Good, but really weird. I wasn't sure how to process it.
Made me feel bad.
I don't know if you can process it. You just have to deal with the consequences.
The thing that was really off-putting to me about that movie was just how they were acting. Like they were like so devoid of emotion, and everybody followed that same sort of wavelength of just being super weird and like emotionless, which made it more, I guess, impactful when there was actual emotion, like the time where Colin Farrell starts like sobbing his eyes out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it was a rough movie.
it's that kid that we all want to punch in the face.
Yeah, not even just his character. I just
No,
want
it's
to
his
find
face.
him. I want to find him and
He's
beat
a
him up in real life.
great actor, but we
He's
want-
very good at being unlikable.
Yes, it's much like you, Ryan.
That's true.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
What about you? What have you watched this week?
I watched all of Midnight Mass in a day.
Yeah,
It was good.
you're a crazy person. It's like 10 hours.
I started it at 1 in the morning, and then had some sleep, and then went to work, and then I watched all the rest of the episodes at work. It was
I'm
good.
about 6 episodes through. I watched.
You haven't finished it?
No, and Sarah's real mad at me for not finishing it because she's
Oh.
like, "We should watch it. We got time," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna put some YouTube on or something."
That's what I end up doing too. Like I should be watching stuff, and I'm just like going through stupid videos on YouTube. Yeah, I want to watch Squid Game. Have you guys watched any of that yet?
I want to watch it, but after the whole
The hype.
the hype goes away.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it. It's a pretty like big trope in like Japanese stuff, so I've read a lot of stuff with that in it.
Okay.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Survive the Night, episode 6, right? 6.
Sorry.
My name's Amir. I'm co-hosting with Andy
Hello.
and
Oh God.
and Ryan.
Yes,
We'll cut that part out.
and It's maybe we sound a bit different. I'm hoping we sound a little bit better because we upgraded.
We moved the studio out of the water, out of our cave.
Yeah. Okay.
On today's episode, we're going to be discussing House, which is a movie that I watched very recently, so it's very fresh in my head.
I don't want to. Before we really get into it, we should specify because there are a couple different movies called House.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the Japanese.
House.
Thank you.
But this is the 1986 American film,
Mhm.
right? House
Yeah.
has 4 movies in it, one of which
Is-
doesn't even have the title.
Yeah, it's not even supposed to be in there. And then there's also the random Cheers connection to House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be getting into that. Eh?
Yeah.
That surprised me seeing him, but yeah, we'll get into that as well.
God, I sound good on here.
I just want to make out with your voice.
I'm a little upset you didn't do the thing before we started recording. The little. Okay, today we're gonna be doing a podcast.
There's still a full podcast for me to do that.
about House.
This is how we just
some
gonna start.
ASMR.
We're gonna start every episode with talking about the podcast with them. Anyway, here we
All
go.
right, let's get into it.
So House revolves around an antisocial doctor who will do whatever it takes to solve puzzling medical cases. I know, I know. This has already been written by Amir.
I didn't even clue in until the very end.
I was like, wait, I didn't write that. Oh, yeah, I did.
I was like, he was a doctor? I thought he was a writer in the movie.
Yeah, I wanted to make some jokes about how we were talking about House, the
It's-
TV show, but it's not.
Well, I'll continue here. The stars the man the show is named after, House, played by Hugh Laurie. This show won 5 Emmys and was nominated for 140 total awards. Holy crow. it's written.
This is now a house television podcast.
The real synopsis is a little further down. It's very brief.
I know. I just wanted to get that out there because I thought it was funny. House was released in 1985 and has since become a bona fide Halloween cult classic. It has?
Has it?
Halloween?
Horror cult classic maybe would be a better way to describe it.
Originally conceptualized as a straight-up horror flick, the script was eventually rewritten to become a comedic cult masterpiece enjoyed by so many today. House follows the story of Roger Cobb, an author after the mysterious death of his aunt taking over the house she lived in.
Can we? So I got here Roger Cobb's 2 novels that are shown in the movie. So the one I think he's working on or just finished or whatever is called Blood Dance. And the other one is just called Sword of Bad.
Wait, what?
Sword of Bad.
Sword, like a
Sword of Bad.
Yeah, like sword.
Those are terrible names.
I mean, Blood Dance is pretty
Yeah,
common,
I
but then it
guess.
was like, and don't forget,
Sword of Bad. Okay, the movie continues. Roger Cobb, he's there. He's going through weird happenings in the house and soon descends into madness and hilarity.
Well, it actually starts with that the grocery boy coming to the house.
Does it?
Yeah, there just starts with this grocery boy doing a delivery at this house.
Right.
And the door just opens for him, and he walks in, and nobody's around. He eventually makes his way upstairs to one of the bedrooms where he sees Roger Cobb's aunt hanging. And it's actually kind of creepy. Like that's one of the only spots in the movie that kind of creeped me out was seeing her hanging.
Well, it did start out as like a genuine, just
Right.
straightforward horror movie, and they just reworked the script. They didn't change it completely, I don't think.
So yeah. So after that, I guess he moves back in or takes over the house. They wanted him to sell it. He moves back in and wants to finish writing his new book there, away from everybody else.
Sword of Bad.
Sword of Bad. He was really close with his aunt.
Yeah, she raised him after his mother died. So yeah, Roger was close to his aunt.
So we need to ask the question: who the fuck is Jimmy?
Who the fuck is Jimmy?
That's what is written right on here.
So there's one part in the movie where I think it's Roger like calling out for Jimmy, but before
you don't know who it is.
Yeah, we weren't introduced to him at all. So,
Yeah.
so I'm like, that was my genuine reaction. Like, who the fuck is Jimmy?
Okay. Yeah, it's his kid that he has lost. Through like his he's still with his wife in this, but they have like this weird relationship. They're not really together, but they're still married.
Right. And we don't really know why until way later on in the movie what actually happens to Jimmy.
He drowned in the pool.
Right. Thanks for giving it away, Andy.
Spoilers.
That's what happens. That's what happens.
Okay, wait. Let's back up a little bit and say you're the grocery boy. What would you do in that situation? You're in this fucking large empty house. You're going up to deliver groceries, and you see a fucking woman hanging from the ceiling.
Does he goes into the house?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The door opens for him.
Yeah. I'm just not going to be stupid and just put the groceries down and be like, hey, lady, I got groceries.
Yeah,
I
that's a good call.
I think he wants his money though.
Oh, that's how it works back in the day.
Yeah, that's
Better get your fucking money.
God. If I wasn't getting paid, obviously I wouldn't be going in. But yeah, if I needed my money, I would be going in and asking her. So it's gonna happen where I'm gonna be going into the house and I'm gonna be seeing this dead lady, and then I'm gonna have to pay for therapy the rest of my life.
I thought you were going to say, and then I'm the one who had to pay for the groceries.
Yeah, I ate all the groceries.
Have you guys ever seen a woman hanging from the ceiling?
I mean,
Like
not
this
in
week?
real life.
This week. When I was growing up, there was actually a house behind my house where somebody hung himself from the tree. I never saw him hanging, but I saw all the cops and stuff. It was wintertime, and he had been like covered in snow because it was snowing, and it was a really fucked up thing that happened in my neighborhood. It really shook the neighborhood up. But
Imagine how different your life would have been.
if I saw it,
Yeah, you could be like someone cool now.
wow.
I'm sorry. I'm apologizing for him saying that.
I know, it's fine.
Before we get real into it, the guy who plays Roger Cobb, His name's William Catt, and he was in Carrie as well.
Oh,
Who did he play in Carrie?
did he play like somebody that bullied her? Probably.
Yeah, he played like a lot of like random roles. He was like in Supergirl for a couple
Oh.
episodes.
Like the recent TV show?
Yeah, from like 2017 or whatever.
That's weird.
To talk more about the actor, I fucking loved his performance in the movie because I think he just played it perfectly. You know, he was just the right amount of serious, but you could tell that he was really digging into the comedic vibe of the movie, which is just awesome. His facial expressions and stuff really got a kick out of them.
He was Tommy Ross in Carrie.
Oh yeah, I remember who that was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great actor. Also, the character's name, just Roger Cobb, is just a funny to me. I don't know.
Is a funny to you?
That's a funny name.
That's a funny.
That's a funny.
It's pretty funny.
2 out of 10. Anyway, he starts to experience weird things throughout the house, like the vision of his aunt killing herself, and she says that she was tricked
By
by the house,
by the house.
Yeah.
Not by the
not by the bag boy.
No. I was gonna say fuck. What the hell is it? The rabbit. Trix Rabbit. What's his name?
Do we ever figure out his name?
Tricky O'Hare.
I'm really fucking curious now. The Trix Rabbit name.
Yeah. Can we pull that up on the screen, please?
Turn off your phone.
Son of a bitch.
You're going to be arrested.
Okay, you guys are going to be shocked. This guy does have a name. Has nothing to do with tricks or rabbits. Don't look.
Okay.
His name is Cinnabon. The Trix Rabbit's name is Cinnabon.
Okay.
Why?
It's so weird.
The fuck?
Hey, we're not only a horror podcast. We're also informative
Yeah.
on your breakfast cereals.
Yeah.
This podcast is brought to you by Trix.
They own
It's
by,
not really. I don't know if we're allowed to
No.
say that.
Silly Ryan.
Is Trix owned by Kellogg's?
Yes, I believe so.
And they're on strike right now, right?
They own everything.
Kellogg's is on strike?
How am I supposed to get my Trix?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not Kellogg's.
What is it?
It's General Mills.
Oh.
I really like how my voice sounds like when I'm way over here.
It sounds like you're in a different room. Anyway, so yeah, if you're in this house and you're starting to see like your aunt killing herself, is that you just like having like PTSD, or are you
Do we know about his PTSD yet in the movie?
I've actually totally forgot he has PTSD, but yes, he does have that.
But
we
like,
don't know that yet.
We don't know it yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing that I put in here was the fact that Sandy, Roger's estranged wife, mentions that she doesn't like his aunt. Like, she says something about her that I think she calls her crazy or something. But that's something that the movie never revisits again in the future.
I think they just didn't like each other because I think, well, later on it's like revealed like the kid dies in their pool.
Right.
And that's probably why like she assumes that this person is kind of crazy. And it says on here, Roger's aunt enjoyed creating creepy paintings.
What kind of creepy paintings?
Well, there is that one that is actually a key point in the movie where it shows her in front of a door with the light. It's the closet that we're going to talk about in a bit. And there's a few different paintings throughout the house that you see that they don't really talk about. They're just weird. Like, I think one of them has like just an upper torso with like the legs cut off for some reason. So she was into
Isn't
some
there
shit.
a painting of just like household items floating, and that comes later in the movie?
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's also one of Cat Dog from the animated series Cat Dog.
Is it really? Oh.
Show came out in like the 2000s.
Cat dog.
Okay.
I remember that show.
Okay. Roger stays in the house because why not? He seems to see. Oh my God.
What's going on?
This thing is so all over the place. You've like copied and pasted a few times.
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
Oh.
At least on here.
Amir, you are banned from
You are
doing
banished.
plot summaries.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about his neighbor, who's Norm from Cheers.
Yeah, when he initially meets his name, I'm like, wait, what? He's Norm's in this movie?
Yeah.
So random.
It's so great because he does play a really, his character I think is quite funny. It's just like this. He's a fan of Roger Cobb.
He calls himself his biggest fan.
Biggest fan, yeah. Carries around a like ripped up copy of his book in his pants.
Yeah, that was weird. He just pulled out his like all these papers go flying over
Yeah.
the lawn. Like, what are you doing?
It's should be mentioned, I guess, that like even in House 2, another guy from
Yes,
Cheers is in
Cliff is in it.
yeah, he was the electrician
He's
slash adventurer.
Slash adventurer and gives the kid the card that says like his business.
Yeah. Seriously, if you haven't seen these movies, you need to go out and watch
Yeah.
them. They're a lot of fun.
They're just they're just silly fun movies. Not the third one. I think it gets to being you haven't seen it yet, have you?
No, I haven't yet.
It's pretty gruesome, but mostly because it isn't really part of the series.
No.
So we're going back, and we keep seeing these flashbacks of Jimmy dying,
Which is the son.
which is the son.
Okay.
We can jump to after where I rate his neighbor's his biggest fan. We go back into the house and Roger is on his computer, and it never shows the front of the computer. I was just insanely curious about what fucking computer this guy was using in the 1980s, but we never get to see it, unfortunately. But then suddenly we're transported to Apocalypse Now. We get the first sort of war flashback.
Right, he's back in Vietnam.
I guess he's getting these flashbacks because he's writing, probably.
He's supposed to be writing supposed to be another horror movie or horror book, but like I think he's doing more of his own experiences in this new book.
What he saw in Nam.
Yeah.
It's him and his war compadres kind of just talking. None of this is really relevant at all to what's happening at the house.
The main guy from Vietnam, does it show him yet?
Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are introduced to Ben, who seems to be like this kind of bully type guy within the army. He thinks he's a big shot.
He's like disobeying a lot of orders and gets a lot of people killed.
Yeah, he kind of goes rogue, and there's just like a little shootout in the jungle, and then it jumps back to present time in the house.
Do you think they played Welcome to the Jungle?
They should have.
Was it
but
out then?
No.
Oh. I just imagined they're
Maybe-
playing just
wait.
like Bird is the Word or
It might have been
something.
out by then.
I think it should have been out by then.
So I'm at the part where he has a dream now. So after he comes out of the flashback, he talks to Sandy on the phone, who was at some award show, and I don't know if
Best
he's like
Dumper?
What?
Best Dumper. That's the award show she's at. She's
The-
winning the Best Dumper.
The best.
Dumper.
I don't remember that detail.
No, yes.
It-
It's here in my notes.
He's pulling our leg.
But whatever award show she's at, she loses, and I don't know what it is.
She lost Best Dumper?
She did.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever's happening with Roger's mind, though, like he's like pretending that he's at a poker party at his place, and he's like, "Oh yeah, hang on,
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
and turn the volume down here."
Yeah, he's like pretending. He like keeps like turning up everything and being like,
Yeah, to make himself sound like he's fucking cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
But he's
maybe,
not.
Maybe he's like having FOMO because she's potentially winning an award, but she doesn't.
Best Dumper.
And so this is where around this time we get our first kind of interaction with I don't even know what to call it because they never name it in the movie, but the monster in the closet.
Oh, the okay. I didn't. I thought it just happened. I don't know if we, like, did it happen all at once or was there like things leading up to it?
Fuck.
I'm pretty sure it just happened at once. He went into that room at midnight.
Yeah.
And then it just came out.
Yeah.
And what was the monster?
No idea. It was.
Does it not show it?
No,
It does.
Yeah,
It
I mean,
does.
describe the monster.
It's just like this weird. It looks like something that was out of like Hellraiser.
Yeah, it's just like this. It almost looks like it has multiple limbs coming out of random spots from like a big, weird shaped body. It doesn't have any real form.
No.
Um,
And it kind of just clings to the closet.
yeah. So after this point, Obviously, Roger wants to. Okay, actually, before we move on to what he does next, what the fuck do you do if there's a fucking weird creature that comes out of your closet? Like,
Okay, yeah. I pulled up a picture here. We should definitely post this. Before, we get into that, I want to say, like, the special effects monsters in this movie
they're
are
great.
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
good.
Very creative, but also very silly.
Yeah, just, like, really fun.
It's a fun time.
Yeah.
Fun
it's
time for everybody.
I'm looking at the picture of it, and, like, it's got its actual face, right? But then it's got, like, a face on its side here, a little
Mhm.
tiny one and stuff. So it's really, like, creative.
I'm trying to think of like what they would have been thinking when they created this. It just looks like a bunch of bodies put together, deformed, again with random limbs coming out of it. But yeah, after this point, what he does is he decides to do a stakeout of the closet. So he
With
sets,
Norm.
With Norm, yeah,
Yeah.
he sets up all these cameras. It's not initially with Norm. He sets up the cameras and stuff, and then Norm walks in.
Oh, right. He has like a 6-pack, and he wants to get drunk with him or something, or hang out, and then he's like, come see this.
So yeah, he positions all these cameras in front of the closet, and I think actually what happens is as midnight strikes, that's when Norm walks in, and he's not actually able to do the stakeout this night because Norm ruins it.
Oh, okay.
Man, fuck that guy.
One of the things that Norm says, I wrote the quote down.
What's his
here.
actual name?
Harold.
Harold.
Is it
Yeah, I
Harold?
probably shouldn't be calling him Norm.
Fuck.
Oh, man.
I'm pretty sure it's Harold. Let me
Like-
just make sure.
If you ever met him as an actor, it would be so hard not to call him Norm.
I guess so.
Did you not watch a lot of Cheers growing
I
up?
never watched
Same.
Cheers.
I love the theme song, but I
Oh.
never watched it. No.
It was always on. I had no choice.
Yeah, it's Harold.
They forced me to watch it.
So one thing that Harold says that I love is Cobb's telling him about like he needs solitude in this house, and one of the quotes from Harold is "Solitude's always better with someone else."
Oh,
Like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
okay.
Thanks, Harold.
Everybody knows your name.
Very nice.
Thank you.
That's from Cheers, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So,
That's for
yeah, I guess.
from the Best Dump Awards. Sorry, Dumper.
Not the best dump. You are just a hoot today. So what? I guess What would you do if you saw a monster in your closet? Which is terrifying because like that's the big thing as a kid.
Yeah.
The fucking monster in your closet.
Yeah.
I
right?
would probably do what he's doing in it, trying to get proof of it.
Hmm.
I think his setup is quite good.
I think I'd just be like, okay, we don't open this closet anymore. Yep.
Or just don't go in that room at all.
That's
Yeah.
true. I also don't know why he's got 8 cameras pointed at. You only really need 1 or 2.
More photographs, the better.
It also doesn't ever explain why the monster only comes out at midnight. It never talks about
I think
that.
that's just that was always like a whole thing growing up. Is like all the creatures come out at midnight.
That's true.
Even though it's supposed to be the witching hour, which is 3 a.m.
Following this experience is when the house sort of starts to come alive against Roger. This is when the crazy tools and stuff.
Oh yeah, they start following and levitating at him.
And we get the swordfish plaque on the wall that comes alive, which is just so fucking weird.
Why does it say in my notes here? It says, "I can't hide the fact that I've been a male prostitute all my life."
I wrote that down because somebody says it. Now I just don't remember who the fuck said it.
Is it one of the characters?
It's one of the characters in the
Okay.
movie.
It was just a mirror while I was watching it.
I thought he was writing down his deepest, darkest secrets. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, just don't put it in the note. Come on. Trying
I
to be
just have
professional
to
here.
remember to put the character's name beside the quote. Jesus Christ! I was doing this all while I was watching the movie.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so the swordfish on the wall comes alive, and then he shoots it with a shotgun, and it starts to whimper, which is fucking weird.
Oh, yeah, it's very
You're
weird.
crying, Andy.
Yeah, I am. From laughing so hard.
This episode is insane.
I'll don't worry, I'll get us through this. So this is one of the sort of a key moment in the movie where Sandy, quote unquote Sandy, his estranged wife, visits him. He greets her at the door. She comes in and she turns into this fucking grotesque monster.
So that part actually kind of creeped me out when I first saw it because she kind of like ducks down a bit out of the camera's view and then she pops back up and she's just this purple monster.
Really fat and
Yeah, really
grotesque.
like it's a really cool design.
It sort of reminds me of the character designs from Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
It
remember.
does have a lot of that, yeah.
And then yeah, I guess he does not like that and then shoots the monster. And then doesn't it transform back into Sandy?
It transforms back into Sandy after because Harold actually witnesses the shooting,
Right.
and then he calls the cops. But he doesn't say that he shot her. He says that somebody's attempting to kill themselves, and I don't know why that he says that.
Because he
he
thinks
doesn't-
the
Go ahead.
writer is going to kill himself,
Yeah,
doesn't he? Because
he
he thinks
doesn't
he's
see.
sad.
Yeah, he doesn't see the actual shot go off, or he just hears it.
And then so the cops come over. He drags what does turn back into Sandy into like a little closet on the first floor, and then he greets the cops at the front of his house where he's like polishing his shotgun for some reason. The cops tell him to put the gun away, and then they realize that he's a famous author, and they sort of befriend him. They were about to write him a citation, but they changed their mind because he's an author, because famous people get away with everything. And
With
then
literal murder.
and then then he invites the cops in for coffee, and this whole scene is pretty funny actually.
Oh, and then the monster steals the gun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's looking for the gun, and he didn't realize that the monster steals it. But the parts where he's serving coffee to the cops is just so awkward and weird, and I found it really entertaining. One of them needs to use the washroom, and he guides them to it, and then he notices the closet door starts to open. Overall, though, the interaction with the cops goes smoothly, and then when they leave, he goes back to tending to the monster, which is now not in that little closet anymore. Eventually, what happens is that he cuts the monster's head off with shears, and
Then it starts playing the really happy music.
we should
Which
insert a clip of
we
that
should.
song because it's
Yeah.
just so
It's
stupid.
so good.
It's just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Feeling better now that we're through. Feeling better.
Me and I was watching this with Robin, and we just kind of like looked at each other like, "What?"
I feel like Robin would have been annoyed with this movie.
She fell asleep halfway.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, once he like gets the body back, or he kills the monster, then wraps up the body in like a plastic bag.
Yeah.
Or like, does he dismember it?
I don't think he dismembers it yet.
Oh, okay.
He puts it in the bag. He's out in the back getting ready to bury it. And then his neighbor, who he seems to have a crush on, comes over.
Not Norm.
Not Harold. Her name's Tanya. And yeah, again, he seems to have a crush on her. She's like a model or something.
Although if it was Harold, that would have made the movie a little bit more interesting.
It's true. So he's in the backyard working, as he says, and he is trying to bury this body, and then she comes over and sort of interrupts him. And while they're talking, the hand of the monster comes out of the bag and is like reaching for his foot, and he's like stepping on it and stuff.
And he starts smacking it with a shovel.
Yeah,
a few
trying
times.
to shut it up.
Yeah.
and then-
Which is kind of like Evil Dead, isn't it? When he
Yeah.
chops his hand off
Oh,
and he's
that's
got to kind of like
true.
try and stomp it.
what? How far apart were the two movies? So this was 86.
I think it was
Dead.
Evil Dead's in the 70s, wasn't it?
No, it's like early 80s. Evil Dead 2 is 87.
81. So this came
Yeah.
out about 5 years after. And so because he's having so much trouble trying to bury it, the next scene we see are a bunch of holes buried across the garden, because I guess he completely dismembers this body and buries it in pieces.
So I want to stop us there for a second. So if we were hiding a body and the neighbor showed up, what would you do?
We're trying to find out how he'd hide a body.
It's going to come up at some point.
It is. It's true.
What would you do, Ryan?
What would I do, hey? So I'm Roger Cobb, super famous, wealthy, big-dicked author. It's pretty sweet.
I don't know why penis is involved, but okay. We never see his penis in the movie.
Yeah, but you know.
Okay.
You know.
House 69.
Fuck. I have no idea. I don't think about this stuff.
You've never thought about burying a body and what you would do if somebody caught you burying that body?
Honestly, I probably wouldn't bury it. I'd probably chop it up and try and dissolve as much of it as I can.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. Ideally, I would want to dispose of a body the way they do in Breaking Bad, just like put it in a bucket and like try to melt it.
You know what's supposed to really work for is you actually eat as much of it as you can. That's the best way to get rid of it. And then you gotta cut the hands,
No more
the feet
serial
off,
killer
the
podcasts
teeth,
for
and then you gotta
No.
scatter them to different provinces or states.
You gotta
Look, all
take.
right.
You gotta take a trophy.
If we're gonna get into it, then let's get into it.
Also, I wanted to say that it wasn't a human body; it was a demon body. But you still are hiding it from somebody.
Oh, why? I would just put it on display. Be like, yeah, it's a mannequin. I don't know. They're not gonna believe that it's real.
This is replacing my swordfish that it came alive a few minutes ago.
So it seems like he has now successfully buried this body. I believe there's like another army flashback, which there's a few different ones. They don't necessarily move the plot forward very much. There's more just about Ben and sort of his character.
To derail for a second.
Yeah.
The what was her name? Tammy?
The neighbor?
Yeah.
Tanya.
Tanya. Andy might be able to answer my question here. Did you know she was in Twin Peaks
Oh.
for 2 episodes?
Who does she play?
Heba?
No idea.
She's in 2 episodes. If I got a fake fan right here. Okay.
Sorry. Here's my card. Please burn it.
So yeah, now fast forward a little bit. Tanya comes over after Roger's having another sort of mental breakdown, and he says that he's sort of too busy to hang out, and she comes over to impose her kid onto him to babysit him.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was very weird. Like, here's my kid, and then you have to bathe my kid.
Yeah, we don't even know that she has a kid up until this
No.
point. She also never says to bathe the kid, but he does anyways. Like, he's just giving this random kid a bath, which is, I found that a little
That is very weird.
off-putting.
Like, this is...
he gets the kid and he's like, I'm going to give this kid a bath.
But
you see this kid over here? This is a fucking dirty kid.
I need to clean him up.
oh my god! At one point, the monster, the Sandy monster, comes back in the form of just a hand, and I don't remember how it pops up, but suddenly it's like attached to the kid's back.
And then the mom shows up again, and
Yeah.
he has to remove the hand as quickly as possible.
I never understood stuff that does that, like movies that have stuff on your back, whatever. You're going to feel that immediately. Like, I can feel a tiny hair touch me and just assume it's a spider, so I'm going to be freaking out if something's on my back.
Eventually, Roger is able to flush the hand down the toilet after. I was thinking the entire. There's no way that fucking
that hand's not going to go down
It's
the toilet.
huge, but it does.
Yeah, but
Also-
it's an old toilet. Like, those had some power back then, you know?
I'm surprised he didn't, give the kid another bath right after.
Well, he should have given the kid another bath after the kid almost gets sucked up into the chimney. There's these two other monsters
Yeah.
who we never see again
Yeah.
that grab the kid by the chimney and start to suck him up the chimney.
Do you say grab him by the chimney?
Yeah, it basically felt like that. I for whatever reason,
I don't like the words you've been using. Grab him by the chimney and suck him up.
The kid's name's Robert. Roger is eventually able to save the kid.
Wait, the kid's name is Robert?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know why that was so...
I
You're
don't-
like, what?
Robert.
No. This episode has gone completely off the rails.
We're only half an hour into it. It's almost over, though. He successfully fends this kid off from these monsters, and Tanya comes back, and she's all thankful and kisses him on the lips, and everyone's happy. There's nothing there that we need to touch on any further. I don't know if we want to talk about what we would do if we were bathing a kid.
Please, no. We're already in trouble with the law for burying a body, okay?
It's true. Harold comes back now, and they're doing another stakeout of the closet. Was that my voice?
What the fuck?
We're We're not gonna be able to air this episode.
What was that? It sounded so weird. All right, let's pull it together, gents.
I'm really glad this is the episode where we've got a nice new setup and it's nice and crisp to really hear how fucking incompetent we are.
Okay, Harold comes back over. They do another stakeout of the closet, and Roger tells Harold to shoot the monster with the harpoon gun when it comes out.
But he doesn't even say it's a monster. He says it's a raccoon.
A raccoon. A big raccoon.
Why
and
would...
Harold calls it Cujo. He actually references Cujo. So the monster comes back out. Harold freezes in terror and isn't able to shoot it in time. And Roger actually gets sucked into the closet, which transports him back into Vietnam.
Does it just transport him, or is this the part where he falls in?
No, he's not falling in. That's the mirror scene in the bathroom.
That's it. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
later
Just
on.
pretend I didn't say anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so yeah, he goes back into Vietnam again. It's a lot like the previous scenes in Vietnam. We get a little more of Ben's story. I don't think he dies yet, because there's a point where Ben, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Ben
no,
dies.
I don't think he's died, or he has died yet at this point.
But when he comes back out, Harold is there. He's drunk, and then Roger discovers his aunt's painting again, the one that actually shows the closet. And he realizes that one portion of the painting is covered up by something obstructing it. He pulls that aside, which reveals what Ryan was just referencing, the mirror in the washroom.
The best scene of the whole movie,
It actually was really cool.
where he's falling, and then there's this demon,
Demon bat thing,
Oh,
but
yeah,
it's got
okay.
arms and a face.
and he steals his gun from him, and then it shoots at him.
I just want to say, though, like the earlier portion of that mirror scene where he actually breaks the mirror, and I don't know why. I just found it super fascinating.
It's a really cool effect, just because it's like he's in this house, and then it's just like another like, can I help you?
He's in this house because the movie's name is House.
Oh my god. Anyway, it's just a cool effect. It looks like there's just this empty void in his bathroom.
Does he
Speaking
falls in, or
he decides to go in.
He goes
Yeah,
in
with, like,
looking for
rope,
his
right?
rope.
He goes
Yeah.
in looking for his son because he hears his son screaming.
Yeah.
so has he just not found his son the whole time,
No.
or
No. I think he might have had a vision. Yeah, there's one scene where he has a vision of his son outside the window, but he never actually finds him. So yeah, as Ryan was saying, he descends into the mirror. He goes down when he discovers what we just referenced, that weird flying skeleton bat pterodactyl
Again, another
creature.
thing that looks like it's straight out of Evil Dead
True.
or Army of Darkness.
Yeah, so he grabs...
which came later than this, didn't it? Then because
Mhm.
this came out
Much
in
later, yeah.
'86. Yeah.
He grabs the gun, shoots the rope, and then he falls into a body of water. Now he's back in Vietnam again.
And that's the episode. Okay, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we just didn't finish the movie, and
So after he finds himself again in this Vietnam area, he hears Jimmy. He follows him to Jimmy being trapped under this wooden crate, cage type thing. He's able to loosen him out of it. They do escape out of it together. They actually pop out of the pool again. They go back into the house and everything seems like, oh, it's all good. Everyone's happy. And then suddenly we see Ben from Vietnam come back
a skeleton.
as a monster. And the monster design's actually really cool.
It is really cool, except for the fact that you can see his skeleton mouth, and then underneath it,
Oh
is
yeah, you
his
just see his
human
regular mouth. Yeah.
yeah.
I never
Wasn't-
noticed that. I didn't
Wasn't
mention that.
on his hands too.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, where
can
like you could see stuff, and then you can clearly see his skin.
It's a great design. Just if you look too closely, it ruins the illusion.
Yeah, the only thing I noticed from Ben was just that his lip sync was off, but I never noticed the human lips or human hand.
Part of why you're not doing the plot summaries anymore.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna kill you. So now he tells Jimmy to run out of the house and get help, but we never actually see Jimmy do that. He struggles with the door, and then we don't see Jimmy again until the end.
Fucking stupid.
He is. And now
Kids, man.
Ben and Roger get into this big fight. At one point, one of my favorite parts with this scene, this interaction, is Roger just gets fed up and just starts beating the shit out of Ben, pulls his arm off, and then he reattaches his own arm. I just thought it weird that Ben was attacking Roger, because one of the first things Roger says to Ben was that I would have died for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get why Ben is after him in the first place.
I think it's just all memory based, and this house is just twisting things for him. So it may not even really be Ben. It might just be in his memory, his just all the PTSD he's suffered, the house playing games with him, and it just forming it into this person that he remembers.
Roger kind of alludes to the idea that this is all Ben's doing. Like Ben has caused all of these weird happenings in the house.
Sorry, this is the. Okay, sorry.
Which, again, there's not really any explanation about like why, or how Ben has caused all of this stuff to happen. In any case, yeah, he gets chased around the house a bit. One thing I noticed about Roger was he did his own stunts in this house, because there's one scene where he flips down the stairs in a very like dangerous situation and position, and there's no camera cuts. You see his face the entire time. I was like, whoa, he could have like broken his neck easily.
That's what happens when it's just like some random movie. It's not a big blockbuster, right?
Yeah, it's a weird movie.
And how it ends is Roger pulls out a grenade. He wedges it inside Ben's suit. He runs out of the house. He blows up. House is on fire. And then suddenly Sandy shows up, and Jimmy's like, "Oh, Mom!" and runs over and they hug. And it just kind of fades out after that.
Yeah.
Doesn't the bad guy, doesn't he become like massive?
No.
Really?
No.
He stays the same size throughout the whole thing.
Really? Okay. I just have some interesting facts that we might have to double check then.
Okay.
All right. Well, if that's the end of it, like this movie's a bit more difficult to be like, oh, what would you do in this situation? Because
Well, we've already put our ideas out there.
yeah, but like I said, it's not much.
Well, what would you do if you were fighting a skeleton man from Vietnam?
I just wouldn't. I don't know.
You just wouldn't?
Yeah, I'd just be like, nope.
I would do what Roger did. Like, what can you do at that point but to
There's
just...
no chance you would. I don't care what anybody says. They'd fight it. No, you'd be like, I've never seen anything so scary before. Now my mind is broken and I'm shitting myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no way you're like, I'm going to beat the shit out of this dude.
What if you're in the same mindset as Roger Cobb? What if you're like, okay, this is the only way of me. This is the only thing standing between me and getting my son back.
Okay, well, I would have went harder then, because doesn't he just beat him up a bit and then rip his arm off? And then the guy's like, okay, well, I'll
So
just
you
take
go
that
harder.
then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I go hard in the paint, man.
Hard in the what?
Hard in the
Paint.
paint. It's a basketball reference.
What's basketball?
Okay, so the original screenplay, because like I said before, this was supposed to be like an actual just straightforward horror movie, was by Fred Decker, who also, I think, he was the writer for The Predator 2018.
Oh. Wow.
That's crazy. He also did some Tales from the Crypt episodes, Night of the Creeps, and RoboCop 3.
We don't talk about RoboCop 3, but Night of the Creeps sounds good.
Okay. I thought it was crazy that like
That
his
name,
portfolio is just, so I did House and then The Predator.
yeah, it's a big time jump.
So the person who added the comedy in, his name was Ethan Wiley, and he's done Children of the Corn 4.
Oh God.
He did special effects for Gremlins. And my favorite part, he did 2 songs where he performed and wrote them for the Jason X soundtrack. The songs are called Jason Jam and X is the Loneliest Number.
Oh my God.
We will definitely have to add little snippets from those because they're not good.
From the songs.
Yeah, they sound real bad.
Okay.
Can't wait.
In Hong Kong, the film had a different name. So instead of House, it's called Don't Go Into That House After Midnight.
Wow.
Well, don't go out into the house
True.
after
I mean,
midnight.
just don't go in the house at all, I guess.
Yeah, stay
Um,
away.
The war demon, like the dude, the ghost dude, the skeleton man.
Yeah.
He was a massive puppet and he was standing at 18 feet tall and was operated by 15 people.
Wow.
Wait, what?
So there must have been a scene, maybe it just showed him close up, where they had to use a huge one.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I think it's a person. I don't think it's a puppet.
No, I know it's a person. I'm not stupid. But I'm pretty sure at one point they use a puppet.
Okay.
Anyways, if someone wants to email us, survivethenightpodcast@gmail.com to let us know if that's real or not.
I don't know if you have this tidbit. Do you guys know who Kane Hodder is?
I do.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. He was
Fucking nerd.
He was the stunt director for the movie, but he also played in a majority of the Friday the 13th movies, Jason himself.
So he was the stunt coordinator?
Stunt director,
Oh.
yeah.
Wow. It's got to get work somewhere.
Okay, this is my favorite fact. I only found it on one site, so honestly, I don't know if it's true or not. I couldn't find anything about this at all. But if it is true, if anybody knows about this, please email us this because it sounds amazing. So, following the release of the film, there was a commercial out the same year about drinking and driving, and it had all the creatures from House in it. And at the end, it has them all saying, "From all of us at the house, please don't drink and drive." And I can't find the goddamn commercial anywhere. So if anybody can find it,
Where was this?
Please send
where
us.
was this listed as like being real? Just on.
just online.
Oh, okay.
I try to look at other places, so like there's a good chance it's not true. But why would you make that up?
That sounds real to me. What
Yeah,
makes
why-
it harder to search for obscure facts about the movie is the fact that it's called House. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so hard to search
There's
for
so many
specifically
things for House.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always either the TV show or the
Japanese movie.
There's a few different movies
Oh.
called House, right? Plus, for some reason, House is listed as coming out 1985 some
Right.
places and 1986 other places.
We actually have referenced both years during this podcast ourselves.
but
IMDb
I
says
believe
85.
the final answer is 1985, I believe.
You said that's what it said on the actual video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold that to you.
But yeah, that's all I got. This is more of an obscure tape with not a whole lot of
I can't wait to cover House 2.
fun
because
facts behind it.
That'll be a
One
treat.
other thing is the other name for the movie in America was House Ding Dong You're Dead.
Wait, that was the full title?
That's what it says as also known as.
Oh.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to get me that copy of the VHS that says House Ding Dong You're Dead, please do.
Please mail it to him.
I feel like the fact that this episode was so all over the place kind of works because House is also
All over the place. Yeah,
Yeah.
this episode. Oh boy. Was this episode 6?
episode 6.
I'm real glad that like the episodes have been going up like a roller coaster, and then this one just
I think this will be a favorite among the 3 people who listen.
us.
Oh shit.
The 3 of us.
Well, thank us. Thank us for listening.
us. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Thank you for listening to Survive the Night podcast. This was episode 6 where we discussed the hilarious movie House. Join us on our next episode where we will be discussing The Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to follow us on social media, you can do that on Instagram at s.t.n_podcast. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's STNpod. And as Ryan mentioned, you can email us at survivethenightpodcast@gmail.com.
And we'd love to hear from anybody who's listening too. If there's anything you guys want us to cover, we have gotten some recommendations for what we should cover in the future. So I mean, if you guys want to shoot us a little message.
Whoa!
What? Midget?
Shoot us a midget.
I said midget.
I'm sorry, everyone out there.
Anywho, finish the outro.
That was basically it. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
You're supposed to say our names again, you
Oh,
fucking
I'm
bitch.
sorry.
Stupid bitch.
My name is Amir. I've been co-hosting here with Andy
Hi.
and Ryan.
Yes.
Thanks again for listening, and we'll talk to you in the next episode.
Bye.